Now we're going to come onto our bellies and bring the foam roller underneath the arms, just on the other side of the elbow joint. Let's make sure the arms are in line with the shoulders instead of wider or more narrow. And first we'll just kind of roll the foam roller away, open the armpits, let the nose drop toward the floor. We're going to try to keep the feet on the floor to keep the work into the spinal muscles. So we take an inhale. On the exhale, we're going to slide the shoulder blades down the back as we lift into an arch. You can press into the foam roller to come up higher. It's important not to let the shoulder blades creep up, but keep them down away from the ears. And if your low back feels like it's compressing, just lift under the low belly a little bit to decompress the spine. So we'll lower down. Take a big inhale, slide the shoulder blades up. And exhale, slide them down. We'll lift and arch to come up just as high as you're comfortable. And we'll lower down. Inhale, slide the shoulders up. Exhale, slide them down and arch up. We're going to try to keep the legs and glutes relaxed so the spine is doing the work. And shoulders, obviously. One more time. Big inhale, slide the shoulders up. And exhale, slide them down and lift and arch to come up. Okay. Next, we'll take the foam roller into the hands. Again, trying to keep those feet relaxed onto the floor. I like to take a second to stretch the foam roller and the toes away from each other as far as you can get them. So we're going to lift the foam roller, arching the upper back, keeping the ears right between the arms, and lower, and lift, and lower. We'll do two more of those, lift, lower. It's very important here to try not to look up. That's why I said ears between the arms to keep the back of the neck long. Okay, so we can do some variations here. We can lift the head and sternum first, then the foam roller, lower the head and sternum, lower the roller. So head and sternum up, roller up, head and sternum down, roller down. One more time. Okay, then we can do that in the opposite direction. So we'll lift the foam roller, then the head and sternum, lower the roller, and lower. So roller up, head up, roller down, head down. One more time. Roller up, head up, roller down, and head down. Okay, so now we're going to do a little rotation. We're going to try to keep the hip bones connected to the floor so we're not twisting the pelvis. The pelvis stays still. So we lift one side of the foam roller, twisting the rib cage in the spine, and lower. Again, lift, ribs and spine twist, hips stay still. Always trying to maintain your breath. Again, ears are staying between the arms here as best as you can. Okay, so next we'll go into our cat move. So come up onto the knees. If you have tender knees, you can always fold your mat up a little bit for a little padding of the kneecaps there. So we're going to balance the roller maybe 1.5 or 2 feet away from the knees. And we'll start nice and tall, kind of taking a second to meditate on your posture here, making sure we're not stuck in that duck posture, but just opening the fronts of the hips, lifting through the crown of the head. We'll take a big inhale. On the exhale, we're going to round and roll. Immediately start the roller when you find it roll the roller when you find it with your fingers. We're going to push through, slip into an arch. Again, ears between the arms, armpits are opening. Inhale here. Exhale, we'll round the spine. Lift up under the belly to try to roll back up. And stack yourself right up on top of those leg bones. So over time, we'll work on sitting back over those heels less and less. You'll notice I have to do that a bit. So again, big inhale. Exhale, we'll round and roll. We'll find the foam roller. We'll push through and arch. I like to rotate the thumbs toward the ceiling for a little more opening. Inhale here. And exhale, round and lift. And stack yourself back up. So some things to watch for here, I'll keep going, are making it too stressful in the arms. If you lean too far forward and get too much weight on your arms, it's not going to feel that great. You're going to feel really worked in the upper body. So you want to, keep some weight on your knees, control with your spine and your core muscles, and let the shoulders open and relax. And then round and roll to come. Okay, I'll do that one more time. Big inhale. Exhale, we try to articulate through the spine, so we move the head, and then one vertebra, and the next, and the next, and the next. Finding the roller. Slip into our arch, lengthening it even as we're bending. And again, round and roll to come up. Okay, next we're going to turn the foam roller long ways. And at first we're going to come right to the very end, so the bone is actually going to hang off the end. Okay? So here, relax. Your tailbone and your butt might even touch the floor, and that's fine. So I like to use this as a core awareness exercise. So there are two ways you could lift yourself into a neutral spine here. One is to just push with your legs and squeeze your butt to come up. So you can even do that a couple of times to feel what it feels like, pushing with the legs, squeezing the butt to come up. And then you can try to do that without using your legs and your butt so much. So you can do it by trying to pull your hip bones toward the front of your ribs. And you'll feel it's a very different muscle recruitment pattern. So try that a couple of times and just see if you can feel your core and your abdominals work there. If you have a pretty firm foam roller, this might be a little uncomfortable in the back, in which case you just wouldn't do it. Okay, so let's go into some bridging. You can do this in any number of foot positions. You can do a few with your feet together. You can do them hip distance apart. I prefer to go a little bit wide with the feet to really engage the glutes. A lot of times I'll just do a few of each though. So we'll take an inhale. On the exhale, we're going to pull those hips to the ribs. And then we're going to push through the feet a little bit to lift into a bridge. And we'll roll down. So let's do that again. Big inhale. Exhale, pull the hips to the ribs. We'll roll up. And you can stop when you're just kind of still connected to the foam roller. If you want, you can push through those heels to lift the hips off. You might want to work toward coming to a straight line from shoulders to the knees. I'm going to bring my feet a little bit closer together so I can show you a little variation you can add on here. So big inhale, exhale, hip bones toward the rib. We roll up, we push through the feet to lift. So here you can do any number of leg variations. You can just try to straighten one and bring it down. Straighten the other. Then you can hang out here and walk the legs out, just doing that side to side. I'm trying to keep my hip bones level. I can't quite tell how good a job I'm doing at that. So you can walk it out, or you can just do a couple and roll back down. Another variation you can do is inhale, exhale, pull the hip bones toward the ribs to roll up into your bridge. You can straighten one leg, lift and lower that leg a few times. I tend to do 3. Again, trying to keep the hip bones level as we go. Okay? Lift and lower. And take the foot down and roll down. Okay, so now I'm going to slide up all the way onto the foam roller so that the back of the pelvis and the head are supported. We still should be able to achieve a neutral spine here even though we're on a foam roller. So the top of the pelvis is level, hip bones and pubic bone in a level plane. You should be able to feel that. That'll create a little space under your low back. For some of us, that space will be quite large after leveling the pelvis out. And for many of us, that's because our ribs tend to be popped up because we were told to stick our chest out our whole life. So you can try to settle them down as much as you can, but you know, you can't fix that in one day. So, this is called the dead bug balance. It's just core stability and balance. So we're going to kind of spread the hands and feet out and find a good base of support. We'll begin by lifting the left leg up toward the ceiling. You can keep it a little bit bent if your hamstrings are tight. If straightening the leg causes you to tuck your pelvis under and flatten your back, don't do it. Just keep a little bend, keep that neutral spine. Okay, one leg up, the opposite hand up. And I always like to hold for a few breaths. And we'll lower. Let's take the right foot up. And then the left hand. And of course you can pause your video and do this any number of times. I'm just going to go through the variations. So next you can take the left leg up and the right hand up. And I always find something to stare at on the ceiling and focus on my breathing and then try to lift the other hand. Okay, other side, right foot up first, then the left hand, and when you're ready, the other hand. Okay, one last variation. We can start with the left leg and the right hand, and then also bring up the right leg. And we'll bring it down. Last time, right leg, left hand, and when you're ready, the left foot too. Okay, so next, we'll just keep checking in on this neutral spine, making sure we're holding it as we go. Let's bring the left knee to the chest and the right hand toward the ceiling. I tend to do 5 of these. You can do multiple sets or you can do fewer. It's just totally up to you. So we're going to stretch the